Happening now, a 46-year-old has died from injuries sustained in a logging accident over the weekend in Chautauqua County. The details coming up. Plus, Cattaraugus County reports 38 new COVID-19 cases from over this weekend, the latest in the outbreak in our region.
Well, a live look over Mayville shows you those mostly sunny skies, but we've got some wintry precipitation on the way. We'll time it out next. The news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now as we start off a brand new week. I'm Justin Gould. A 46-year-old has died from injuries sustained in a logging accident over the weekend here in Chautauqua County. The county sheriff's office says David Byler of Middlefield, Ohio, was cutting trees at about a half a mile in a wooded area off of Klondike Road in the town of Ripley on Saturday morning. While working there, deputies say a tree fell on him, causing injury. Both Ripley and South Ripley fire departments, along with the Chautauqua County EMS crew, responded to the scene. Byler was taken to Westfield Memorial Hospital and later airlifted to Hammett Hospital in Erie, Pennsylvania. Yesterday afternoon, the sheriff's office says he died as a result of injuries sustained. 38 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in Cattaraugus County from over the weekend. The Cattaraugus County Health Department reported 23 cases on Saturday and 15 yesterday. There are now 411 cases active, with 43 people hospitalized. The county's 7-day average infection rate is at 6.5%. Of the county's nearly 3,600 total cases, nearly 3,100 people have recovered, with 71 related deaths. Chautauqua County is expected to provide their weekend update sometime this afternoon. Well, as states continue to clamor for more COVID-19 vaccines, an announcement from the FDA approving a special syringe to allow an additional dose of the Pfizer vaccine to be extricated from each vial. Mary Maloney with the latest on this.
In the U.S., the CDC reporting a new daily record for COVID-19 vaccines administered. New data also showing a downward trend in coronavirus hospitalizations nationwide. And the 7-day average for new cases has also reached its lowest point since early December. Another possible glimmer of hope, the FDA giving approval for special syringes to extract an extra dose from vials of the Pfizer vaccine. But the ability to get the 6th dose with these special syringes is limited.
Many places have them, but not every place.
This as states remain frustrated with a dwindling supply.
We have no clue often just how much is coming and when. I am eligible in Minnesota to get a vaccination also, and I can't find one.
For those lucky enough to register to get a shot, the wait in line is long.
This shouldn't be the Hunger Games like it was with PPE, right? That was ridiculous.
And there's growing concern that new variants could cause new surges faster than vaccines are being distributed.
You're going to see people traveling again, probably for spring break. That is exactly when we expect that these variants, in particular the UK variant, to really have taken hold in the U.S.
The U.S. Surgeon General nominee hopes vaccine shortages can be avoided just in time.
The supply will increase over the coming months as they bring more and more production online for the Pfizer and for the Moderna vaccine. It is possible that another vaccine may come into the mix.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Mary, thank you. Walmart, the nation's largest retailer, is expanding their COVID-19 vaccinations to 7 more states, possibly helping accelerate the distribution. Well, New York's governor is continuing his push to inspire confidence in the COVID-19 vaccine. Governor Andrew Cuomo delivered pre-recorded remarks at several churches, largely from black communities across the state yesterday. Cuomo, who has complained that New York doesn't have enough vaccine supply to meet demand, says anyone who is eligible to get the shot, including those over 65, should.
My mother, who is 65 plus, will take it. I have my daughters, who I love more than life itself. They will take it when they are eligible, and I will take it also. You should take it too.
Cuomo says the coronavirus pandemic has exposed the nation's racism, noting that black and Hispanic people have died from the virus at higher rates than white people. He explains he will fight to deliver vaccine doses at public housing complexes and through churches and community groups to make sure it's accessible to the hardest hit communities of color. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now on this Monday as we get off to a new week. A programming note to let you all know about. Coming up in just a half an hour's time, Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist expected to provide recorded remarks of his State of the City address at 12:30. We'll stream that live here on WNY News Now's 24-hour streaming network and our social media platforms. Let's check in with the comments and say hello to Charlie. Good to see Judy, Terry, Scott, Bill, and Edna as well. Good Monday to Sandy, to Cindy, to Ron, Joseph, Lori, and Joey. Let us know what all of you are doing down in the comments below. Now let's get a check of our First Defense weather forecast. That's where we find Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. And Dakota, happy Monday. I imagine that a lot of people might be singing a hallelujah right now because, albeit a little chilly, it's pretty darn sunny out there.
Yes, we do. We have the sun that is broken out early this afternoon, and boy, what a great way to start Monday for you. This is a live look downtown from the top of the Doubletree Hotel. We're perched at 28 degrees as a noon hour, so as Justin said, it is chilly out there, but boy, we don't care. I mean, with that sunshine, woo, man, we so needed that. But you do see a few of the clouds showing up in the satellite imagery, and clouds are going to be advancing, especially later this afternoon from south to north as another storm system comes our way. That is going to be the main focal point tonight into tomorrow with some potential sleet that could freeze. There actually is a winter weather advisory in place for all of western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. There's a 3 inches of snow on the ground right now. We're still over 2 feet below normal snowfall. 26 was the high yesterday. We started the day at 16, 72 and 17 below zero, record highs and lows for today. So through the afternoon, a good supply of sunshine early. The clouds are going to start to thicken up later in the afternoon, and it's not going to be quite as chilly as it has been, 30 to 34 with an overall light wind, but wintry mix comes our way tonight through the day tomorrow, and expect some slick spots on the roadways. We'll time it out in a few. Justin?
All right, Dakota, certainly looking forward to that expanded forecast coming up. Thank you. Well, stimulus talks have restarted, but the pathway still appears a bit bumpy. As John Lawrence reports, President Joe Biden's proposal to boost the U.S. economy in efforts to fight the pandemic is facing some opposition.
President Joe Biden says the American Rescue Plan is a top legislative priority. On Sunday, a top White House economic official discussed the $1.9 trillion package with a bipartisan group of senators, a source on the call tells CNN.
I think considerable progress came out of that in terms of building consensus for this plan.
While Biden is pushing for Republican and Democratic lawmakers to work toward an agreement, there's some criticism from the GOP.
We need to understand where the money is going. Are these to individuals or to entities that really need the help? How has the first $900 billion we just passed a couple of weeks ago, how has that been distributed?
Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine tells CNN more funds are needed for vaccine distribution, but adds the additional stimulus checks that the president is proposing are not well targeted. If both sides can't come to terms, Senator Bernie Sanders says the Democrats may use reconciliation, a rare and controversial tactic that could push much of the relief package through.
That is 50 votes in the Senate plus the vice president to pass legislation desperately needed by working families in this country right now.
As Biden waits to see what happens with the plan, he's taking other COVID-related actions, like reinstating international travel restrictions former President Donald Trump moved to ease on his way out the door. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. The Biden administration says medical advisors suggest that travel restrictions prior to Biden's inauguration, Trump signed an executive order lifting those restrictions that was supposed to take effect Tuesday. There have been more than 25 million known cases of COVID-19 in the U.S. since the pandemic started, and infections do keep going up. Well, the program aimed at helping connect retired Chautauqua County residents to volunteer opportunities has received some federal funding. Republican Congressman Tom Reed says the Chautauqua County Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, also known as RSVP, will receive a 3-year $75,000 AgroCorps grant. Reed says the grant will support critical activities such as food pantry programs, educational services, financial literacy initiatives, and other local economic development initiatives. The project utilizes over 400 volunteers ages 55 and up to help improve the lives of seniors and strengthen the community and foster civil engagement by giving back to the places where they live. Next, here, a lot more to tell you about on this Monday. 2 pets perished in a city fire yesterday afternoon. The details on where that investigation stands. But first, how the Buffalo Bills season came to a pretty hard ending last night in Kansas City. We hear from quarterback Josh Allen in just a few. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues on this very sunny Monday.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Sorry about that. No, I've been staying at my dad's place because of everything.
Where are we going?
He's good. Yeah, I know, we keep missing each other. I've been working out of my dad's house, doing some reading. I should be working out more. I just feel like I'm drowning.
Navigating these times can be tough, but while you care for your loved one, you also need to care for yourself. Go to aarp.org/caregiving for free mental health and self-help tips.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm, and real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now. With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. The Buffalo Bills' miraculous 2020 season came to an end last night as the team fell to the Kansas City Chiefs 38-24 in the AFC Championship game. Quarterback Josh Allen played an instrumental role in guiding the Bills to its first AFC Championship appearance in 27 years. Allen says he needs to play better in order for the team to take the next step in appearance at a Super Bowl, but also control their emotions in the end.
But the way it ended, it doesn't sit right with me. How chippy and ticky-tacky got, and I'm disappointed in myself that I let my emotions get to me there. And it's not how you're supposed to play the game of football. And
Buffalo's season, however, was full of triumph despite last night. The team swept the AFC East foe New England Patriots for the first time since 1999. In addition, the team also won its first divisional championship in 25 years. Kansas City will now take on former Patriots quarterback Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55. That's on February 7th in Tampa Bay. It airs on CBS. Well, 2 pets have died in a fire at a Jamestown apartment yesterday afternoon. The Jamestown Fire Department responded to a 2-story apartment house fire on King Street just after noon. When crews arrived, they reported finding heavy smoke and flames coming from the rear of the structure. Firefighters acted quickly, though, to stop the flames from spreading, bringing the blaze under control in about 30 minutes. It appears all occupants of the apartments did make it out okay. However, crews found 3 pets inside, only recovering 1 of them. The cause of the blaze remains under investigation at this hour. Well, former President Donald Trump's second Senate impeachment trial is set. The question is now, will Democrats be able to convince enough Republicans to break with the former president and convict him on inciting the deadly U.S. Capitol riots? Melissa Rainey reports from Washington on where current arguments stand at this hour.
Telling them the truth
Republican Senator Mitt Romney says he's studied law review articles that show holding an impeachment trial for a former president is constitutional.
I think it's pretty clear that the effort is constitutional.
A stance that puts Romney at odds with some of his colleagues. He also believes the allegation that Trump did incite the deadly U.S. Capitol riot on January 6th is an impeachable offense.
I believe that what is being alleged and what we saw, which is incitement to insurrection, is an impeachable offense. If not, what is?
Monday, the House is set to formally walk the article of impeachment to the Senate.
I think the trial is stupid. I think it's counterproductive. We already have a flaming fire in this country, and it's like taking a bunch of gasoline and pouring it on top of the fire.
Some Democrats hopeful that the trial will unite both sides of the aisle and allow legislative plans to move forward.
I believe that this impeachment trial, I hope conviction, ultimate disqualification, are the very first powerful steps toward unity in our country moving forward.
The chamber plans to begin the former president's trial next month, expecting it may move faster than Trump's first impeachment trial last year.
I believe it will be a fair trial, but it will move relatively quickly.
I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Melissa, thank you. Under an agreement between Senator Schumer and Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, the ceremonial functions of that trial will occur this week, with the articles presented today and the senators sworn in as jurors on Tuesday. Then the trial will pause while the White House impeachment managers and Trump's legal team exchange pre-trial briefs for 2 weeks. The final briefs will be due on February 9th, allowing the trial itself to begin. Well, back here at home, a proposed $4.2 million project that will be considered by the Jamestown City Council this week could turn Washington Street into a 3-lane roadway with bicycle and pedestrian lanes. Council will see a presentation from the New York State Department of Transportation tonight regarding the possible changes to be done because the street will need to be milled and resurfaced. The DOT is proposing 3 alternatives for Council to consider. The first, not to do anything. The second would mill and resurface with ADA improvements while maintaining existing lane configurations for both New York Route 430 and Route 394 on Fairmount Avenue. The third plan, which the state does recommend, is to mill and resurface with ADA improvements along from 4 lanes to 3 lanes, which will convert Washington Street from Fluvanna Avenue to West 2nd Street while maintaining the same configuration on Fairmount Avenue. It would also include a new turning lane. The timeline for the federally funded plan is to obtain design approval this spring, finalize the design over the summer, open bids in this fall, and hopefully complete the project by next fall. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we get a check of local news that matters to you. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. Good to see Cheryl, good to see Donna, Cassandra, Michael, and Karen. And we certainly heard from a lot of people about that project, so it'll be interesting to see what council has to say about it. Nevertheless, that part of Washington Street is starting to deteriorate, so certainly they will have a lot to talk about in the future plans of that roadway. Well, coming up this week, we'll have some
You
weather.
were about to go to commercial, weren't you?
It's changing. No, I wasn't. I knew weather was next.
Right.
You're coming
He was about
up
to toss to a commercial.
right now. It actually does say toss to commercial on my teleprompter. I don't know why, but I'm going to you.
Okay.
I'm making the
I'm
executive
going home.
decision.
Okay. No, but seriously, though, I don't care what they do to Washington Street as long as they repave it.
Right.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. That's one rough stretch of road.
That's the only real downside, I think, from the weather here, is that the roads take a beating every winter. Especially, I think, the freezing and unfreezing.
And then you have the plows going over it, and then the salt. It doesn't do the blacktop any good.
But you need the plows and the salt, and you're definitely going to need it this week, I'm sure.
Yes, you're going to be needing the little bit of salt out there. Let's take a look at it, and wanted to show you, first of all, the ski and snowboarding forecast for the slopes here. Just updated, peak and peak 12 to 48 inches. How about Holiday Valley, 20 to 59 inches with a machine groom surface, Cockaigne 8 to 16. pleasant down there in Edinburgh, 12 to 36 inches. So the ski resort's looking good. And actually, the ski resorts do actually want a little bit of the rain and a little bit of the freezing rain because it helps harden up the bases and it helps keep the season going into the spring. So most skiers and snowboarders know that. Winter weather advisory in place. The whole map is covered in purple. So we're all under a winter weather advisory until 7 p.m. tomorrow. And this is our next storm system coming in. There it is for you. You can see this line where the colder air is. The warmer air is down to the south. So that's where we have the rain and thunderstorms in progress. Look at the lightning output here. But we're going to be on the northern fringe of this thing, which means we're ultimately going to see rain, snow, sleet, and potentially some freezing rain overnight and into tomorrow. So that is the next big thing we're keeping an eye on here. So the winter weather impacts for you, just to show you kind of the big impacts here. The snowfall, not really going to be a big deal. Across the southern tier, you'll likely see about an inch and a half of snowfall. We think there's going to be more mixing going on down across the southern tier. So we will see a little bit of ice accretion, not too much, but enough to slicken up the roadway. So the travel impact is going to be a little bit slick out there later tonight and especially for the go tomorrow morning as you head out to work. So let's take you through a future scan. It shows you nothing through the day. Now watch what happens as we go into this evening. We're going to start to see a few rain showers, maybe a couple snow showers come in from south to north, and then watch what happens overnight. This purple area here, this purple and pink area, is a mix of rain, snow, sleet, maybe some freezing rain coming down here. And notice how Future Scan mainly keeps it to the southern tier. So that's why there's going to be more mixing going on down here. The higher snow totals, higher, is going to be further to the north. That's where you could get up to about 2 or 3 inches of snow. But down across the southern tier in northwestern Pennsylvania, more of that mixing is going to keep the snow totals down. And then we're going to see a chance for maybe a few snow showers, a few rain and snow showers as we go into Wednesday. So these are Future Scan projected ice totals here. You can see here we're looking at max about 1/10 of an inch. Even though that's a little bit, it's enough to slicken up the roadway. So keep your eyes on this as you head out the door, especially later tonight if you're a third shifter, or especially for the morning go tomorrow. Now, in high definition, the next 7 days, brought to you by 42 Degrees and Sunny. 34 tomorrow, just a sloppy mess of rain, snow, sleet, maybe some freezing rain. 27 Wednesday, morning rain and snow, tapers off. Look at the high temperatures go down into the upper teens for both Thursday and Friday. We start Saturday 8 here in the city, but we should rebound to at least the mid-20s, and then snow returns on Sunday with temperatures in the mid-30s. We will take a break and be right back. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A new survey finds many Americans are turning to social media to get their news. The This month, the Pew Research Center released the results of a survey they conducted last fall. They asked more than 9,200 adults about the ways that they were informed. Well, 53% said they got their news from social media at least sometimes. Of those who did, about a third of them say Facebook was their regular source. YouTube and Twitter were also big sources. People who took part on the survey admit they still question the accuracy of some sites they use. Some even say they expect what they read to be inaccurate. Interesting. Certainly not the case here. Well, have you ever gotten a package you didn't order? Well, it could now be a scam. The Federal Trade Commission and cyber experts have been warning consumers about deliveries known as brushing scams. So here's how they work. Third-party sellers on Amazon, eBay, and other online markets pay people to write fake positive reviews about their products. To be able to post those reviews, the so-called brushers need to trick the site into making it appear that a legitimate transaction took place. So they'll use a fake account to place some orders and addresses, and they send those out randomly. Then, instead of actually mailing the item for which they want to post a review, the brushers will send a cheap, often lightweight item that costs less to ship. The FTC has gone after marketers that use fake reviews, but it's not actually illegal to send customers unordered merchandise. Well, speaking of packages, today is National Bubble Wrap Day. These days, people use it for shipping or to have popping the bubbles. But engineers Mark Cavanas and Alfred Fielding first envisioned it as wallpaper. Can you believe that? They created it in the mid-20th century for that purpose. National Day calendar says they later tried to sell it as a greenhouse insulation. Then the wrap really got popping when IBM used it to ship computers back in 1961. Well, eventually an Indiana radio employee directed to give the product a day in its honor. Interesting. Bubble wrap can be fun in so many ways, Mr. Dakota. I just like popping it. I really do. It's something with the sound. It's kind of relaxing.
Bubble wrap as wallpaper.
Yeah. Go figure. What's the world? The crazy
I'm so glad.
designs.
I'm so glad that's one interior design trend that has not taken off.
Right. That would be kind of funny just to stick it up on there.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, popping the bubble wrap, you know, it's very satisfying when you get to play around with it and pop
I wish
it.
we
It's
had
sort
some,
of
honestly.
It's sort of like ASMR.
Yeah.
If you guys know those ASMR videos on YouTube, it's long. Just search up ASMR on Google to learn more about it. But, you know, it's kind of like real life ASMR moments when you play around with it and you pop it.
Hear it and it calms you down. So let us know what you think about that and what do you find bubble wrap calming, annoying, or let us know down below. Good to see Kirk, good to see Judy, Scott, and Nancy as well. Hopefully you're all having a great Monday, and we appreciate you to tune to us for a check of your local news. And I think real quick, I wanted to comment on that story we had when we came back about social media news. I think today, that's how a lot of people get their information, especially when they cut the cord.
Yeah.
It's hard to find good, reliable sources of local news, and I see it out there all the time where people will share things on Facebook, and some of it's incorrect on both sides of whatever spectrum you're thinking about.
Right, and you see, that's the issue. And, you know, there's been many, many discussions about this in the news business and in the weather business. Because, you know,
information all over.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, you guys in the newsroom, you deal with, use Trump's term, fake news all the time on social media. Well, we deal with fake weather information. In the weather office, we get these, you know, pages that pop up on Facebook or on Twitter, you know, of all these fake forecasts. And it's like, you know, it's like trying to fight a fire with a bottle of water.
Right.
I mean, you know, you can't stop it. So what we have to do, which is something that I think we've done at least a good job in, but we need to do better in, is trying to teach people that some sources are good, some sources are bad. You need to think before you share something. Right. And, you know, I think...
And it's good to look at the author. That's what's really
important. And then, two, you know, there's been an argument saying, well, you can't stop, you know, the fake news stuff on social media, the horses out of the barn, because we're trying to make rules for something that has no rules.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, yeah, you're right. And it's so difficult. And how much do you control on the internet? I think that's a conversation that people will continue
Who owns
to have.
what?
Right,
You know.
right. Whose property is it, right? Like we have that issue here where our broadcasts obviously are ours to send out and to create. However, it's on someone else's servers.
Right.
That's just one exhibit of it that we saw there nationally. So something to talk about for sure. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. Have a great day. We're back tomorrow.